Welcome to the Politics of Development podcast. Today we're going to be talking about public perceptions and image management. You know, one of the things I hear a lot of people say is, I will never join politics. It's too dirty. You know, I have built my reputation. I don't ever want to go there. You know, I'm a professional. I don't want to be involved in politics. I've worked so hard to get here, and I'm not going to let anyone destroy my reputation. And to be honest, these are very, very valid concerns. You know, there is a challenge of building and maintaining a positive public image, especially in Africa and in developing countries where there is already, and I guess it's across the world, but particularly here where there's already a perception that everybody in that space is dirty or is playing politics in the wrong way. Negative publicity or mistakes can certainly be amplified in public office, and the effects are usually enormous, especially after people leave office. They can't take other jobs and they struggle to get other things. So these are real issues, and that's why we're going to be talking about how to deal with public perception and image management in this podcast. Now, let's start. First of all, what is public perception? I guess that's just the way the public views and understands you. You know, this is how the image, the brand that comes to their head whenever they think of you. As a newcomer, it's about making sure that you give the right first impression. It's important that you shape the way people are going to see you, whether as a candidate or even if you're just appointed in office, what you're about, what you're bringing. So what's image management? This is about you now strategically presenting yourself to create and maintain, if you like, a desired public image that aligns with your campaign. I used development as my major theme. I was all about development. Politics of development was my tagline. Ejekasheyi was what I used, and everything was about Ejekasheyi fun eto eko, which means let's do this for education, let's Ejekasheyi fun eto ilera, let's do this for health, and everything was about development. So I positioned my brand to show people that this is what I'm about, and people were able to follow through with that. Remember, you are dealing with highly skeptical people. Politics over the years has been done with has been played by people that may have not been totally truthful with the people. And so people are highly skeptical. They don't trust anyone that has the toga or comes across as a politician. I remember several times during my campaign, it was always the same challenge. You politicians are all the same. You come with very high expectations, and you give us very high expectations. You tell us all the things you want to hear, and then right after the elections, we don't see you again. You're gone, vote, gone in the air. You know, and this showed up time and time again, which made me conclude that politicians certainly have an image problem, and it's one that anyone that wants to go into this sector or this area must be intentional about right from the beginning, right from the get-go. You must have a strategy to develop a strong brand and engage with your community or those that you have been put there to serve consistently. That way, you will be able to build relationship. I would also advise that if you can, probably have a public relations expert in your team so that they can obviously always give you fresh insights into things. So let's talk about it. You're coming into politics for the first time. What are things that should really matter to you? And the first one for me is please be authentic. Be authentic. Do not try to be who you're not. You know, do not try because this person does it this way, this person speaks this way. Just be you. It's funny because people can spot a phony or an imposter from afar. And so you want to make sure that, hey, this is me. Even if you're a newbie, let them know that you're a newbie, but you bring in different perspectives to the table. When I was campaigning, I always made them know that, number one, I'm a lawyer, and so I understand a lot of matters that work regarding, governance at a level, but more so I had been in government for 8 years before then, even though as an appointed member. And so my ability to understand how governance worked, how government worked, would have put me in a better stead in terms of getting or being able to lobby and get things back to my constituency. So I used my legal knowledge and my time in government to differentiate myself from all the other candidates at the time. And I think it worked because it was, for some of them, a breath of fresh air, not the usual, not what we've always heard. And well, if he has shown all of this, maybe we can give him a chance and trust him. So you must show that your non-political experience, if you're coming from the private sector or the social sector, is also relevant. It can come across as reliability. It can come across as something new. It can come across as something different. The second thing I want you to please put in mind is that connect with the people. Connect with the people. We have a lot of politicians, a lot of people that go into this space before the campaigns. They are ready to come in, and after the campaign, they disappear. And so they create a gap with the people rather than actually closing in with the people and being seen as one of us. It's difficult for them to brandish you as a negative person when they see you as one of us. When they see you as them versus us, or you as them versus us, then it creates a lot of problems. So please build a relationship. Bring hope, bring humor, bring the way things are done. And this will certainly help your brand as one that is grassroots, as one that is connecting with the people, and as one that is making a difference. So this is one of the things I did. I made sure that going home was a consistent thing for me, and that I was interested in their well-being. And that speaks, even now that I have left office, I still have fantastic relationship with my constituents because of the connections we have. The last thing I think is extremely, extremely important for you to have is you need to be consistent. You need to be consistent in your application. If they see you do things just when people are watching or when people are not there, or at certain times, they know this isn't a real representative. You're playing to the gallery. So be consistent. Let them know, how much you mean to them, how much they mean to you, and just be consistent in your approach. Your values must align with what you're saying. You must be the type of person they can trust. And that means you have to keep doing it consistently. And I think these are very important things that you should plan to have if you're going to build a good brand image. People will like people that are transparent, people that will tell them as it is. When there are challenges, they will let them know these are the challenges. They like people that will bring fresh perspectives to the table because they know that, well, even though we don't totally understand it, we believe in you. We believe you're bringing fresh perspectives. You're prepared. You're ready to really help us. And these are things that really matter in the space. And so every action you take is part of a layer being built on your brand. Everything you do is already putting a building block on your brand. So you want to differentiate yourself as one with integrity, as one which can be trusted, as one which can who can say things in a way that is certainly for the people that you are there to represent. And once you get into that space, then it's you're able to build a brand or a platform whereby people see you. He's one of us. He's approachable. He's loved. He's accessible, or she, as the case may be. Your image and your brand is one that is truly going to inspire and help a lot of people. I should add, of course, in this century, you must be on social media. You must effectively engage on social media. We have a brand colors. We're consistently posting with our brand. If you see the yellow and the blue, that's what we used. And we're very, very much involved in the community. And once they see the yellow in the community, once they see the colors, they know that is the Ejeka brand. And people are very, very happy to see us at the grassroots. So it's extremely important that you put all of these things in place as you build your strategy. Of course, there will be challenges. And I shouldn't end this podcast without going to touch maybe a few of the challenges that you're expecting to have as you go along in your journey of building your brand and building your image. But just remember that coming fresh is an advantage. Do not look at it as a disadvantage. Being a greenhorn sometimes can really stand you apart from the status quo, from the usual people that they have come sometimes to distrust or sometimes not to be able to put their faith in. Okay, so what are the challenges that you're likely to see? What are the sort of challenges that you're likely to face as you move along? And so, yes, there are going to be several challenges that you have to overcome. Understand that in politics, things move very quickly, all right? And so your public perception can move very quickly, and you're dealing with different people that are opposing you, necessarily don't want you to be there, not because you've done anything wrong, but just because you're doing good sometimes is exposing their weaknesses and their shortcomings. So you must be ready to be able to address shifting perceptions very quickly. You must have boots on ground. You must be in tune with what is going on so that you can respond very quickly. Like I said, you would also, people may want to brand you in a certain way, but when you understand that you have a consistent brand, certainly sometimes when people have tried to, if you like, defame us or tarnish us, people would say, no, that's not consistent with the brand we know him for. It's not his brand colors. This is certainly not him. And so being able to have that consistency certainly will help you. So developing, communication strategy and guidelines will help when people try to tarnish you. You can clearly differentiate yourself from what other people may have out there. There will be negative publicity sometimes. There might be crises, there might be challenges, but the ability to address and mitigate the impact very quickly. And that's why it's good to have somebody in PR, somebody in communications to be able to respond quickly and transparently to negative incidents, using facts, using empathetic messages or communication to address these concerns. And then obviously if things have really gone wrong, you're highlighting what you're doing to make it right. I think is also extremely important because things can change very quickly. I think the last I want to say is you must build and maintain trust. Build and maintain trust with media houses, build and maintain trust with stakeholders of all sorts at the public level, at the constituency, with the different players. Build relationships and maintain trust. Let them know that even when they hear certain stories, they want to double check with you because this is out of character to the person we know. We know him for integrity, we know him for accountability, we know him for transparency, and we know him to be this sort of person. And so when things come that might be mudslinging or someone trying to take you out of character, because you have built trust over the years, you're able to keep that relationship, and that relationship will stand you in good stead even in very tough times. So in summary, yes, your reputation is important, public perception is important, but do not say you will not join politics if that is your call, if that is your conviction, because your reputation or your image may be stained, so to say. I think your convictions must be greater than your fears, and certainly those that are in there that understand the strategies to manage how to manage their image also end up in the good side at the end of the day. So I hope this helps you. I hope you gained a few things from this. And so until the next podcast, stay well, stay blessed. See you soon.